Korean Peninsula might be one of the most incongruous areas in the world. At one end lies the impoverished, censored, terrifying hermit kingdom of North Korea. On the other end is the wealthy, hyper-successful westernized nation of South Korea. South Korea is the most developed East Asian country and one of the most highly developed in the world. On the Human Development Index, South Korea beats out Japan as a result of their ultra-high standard of living, level of income, education standards, and quality of health care.
Now we have democracy today. Stable, placid. It is interesting, right? I mean, it's still evolving, and it is fun. It is fun to do this because they literally spray each other with fire hoses and beat each other up and stuff. But like people vote, right? There is a movement towards better freedom of press, freedom of speech, things like that, right? There's a lot of stuff. If you go to Korea in 1910 or 1950, you would not bet on this country having done this. There's no way, if you looked at Korea in 1950, you'd say, that's a country that's going to be an economic miracle that everybody's going to know about around the world, and is going to be a stable democracy.
South Korea has the 7th most powerful military in the world, and is the smallest country within the top 10 list. One of Korea's biggest reasons for having such a powerful military is their neighbor to the north. North Korea has a long-standing habit of attempting to provoke South Korea, and the two still maintain a heavily militarized border known as the DMZ.
The Sunshine Policy, as it became known, saw historic reconciliation between North and South Korea. Families divided since the Korean War were allowed to meet. Tensions along the most heavily armed border in the world relaxed, and even in the year 2000, a presidential summit in Pyongyang. That meeting with Kim Jong-il won Kim Dae-jung the Nobel Prize for Peace. But these short-term advances didn't last long. And today, the Sunshine Policy lies in ruins. The historic summit was later exposed as a sham, with huge bribes paid for North Korean cooperation. Family reunifications have now been stopped, and tensions along the 38th parallel are higher than they've been in decades.
The country with the fastest internet by far is South Korea, with speeds of 23.6 megabits per second. The download would take less than 45 seconds.
I think the biggest difference between other regions in Asia compared to Hong Kong or whatever is the fact that the internet here is so fast, and we have such a great internet infrastructure and a culture that, you know, relies so heavily on using the internet.
So why does South Korea dominate internet speeds? Well, first and foremost, the South Korean government began planning for widespread adoption of the internet back in 1995. By 2000, nearly half of their citizens were connected. However, one of the strongest reasons is that the Korean government deregulated internet service providers.
South Korean bloggers are not only taking to the streets protesting U.S. beef imports, but also becoming influential citizen journalists. Their online claim that beef import could put Koreans at risk of mad cow disease was watched by 200 million internet users a day.
These tech-savvy activists showed that they could take control of political and news agendas.
We just relied on established media in the past to get to know the important issues, but that's changed. We can take pictures ourselves and post them on the internet. This new culture is changing the way our country does politics.